Hi there. Today we are going to start our new chapter by classifying, adding, and subtracting polynomials. So before we get started, we have this chart up top with some definitions that we need to fill out. So the first one, monomial. This is the prefix that we're looking at. So mono means one. So our definition is one term. And a term is anything that's in between addition or subtraction sign. So an example would be, say, like 2x cubed. This whole thing is a term. X squared, that's a term. Negative 2x, that's also a term. Anything that would be in between that plus or minus sign. All right, next one, we're looking at our prefix again. So binomial would be two terms. Okay, so example would be, say, 5x cubed minus 4. So this is my first term. That's my second term. That's how I get the binomial. All right, next one, trinomial. Guess how many terms? You guessed it. There's 3. All right, so 3 terms. Okay, so let's make up, let's say 2x to the 4th plus 5x squared minus 10. All right, you can make up whatever you feel like. That's my first term, second term, third term. Okay, and then polynomial. This one's a little more general. So this is 4 or more terms. Okay, so we have a little more flexibility with this. Say we have 2x to the 5th minus x cubed plus 2x squared plus 1. And I could even have another term and have 5 or more. All right, standard form. We've seen this before. So think back. Okay, last semester, that means that the highest exponent is written first. Okay, so we have, let's say, 5x to the 4th plus 2x cubed plus x squared plus 10x plus 1. All right, so we have to have the highest exponent first. This one's the biggest. Then it goes to the next highest, then the next highest, next highest. Oops, sorry. So being that visible 1. And then this number here, the exponent's a 0. So that's why that one's always last. Okay, so highest exponent goes first. All right. So remember, your final answer should be in standard form. Don't forget that. Okay, we're going to classify each polynomial by the number of terms. So this one here has 1 term. So it would be a monomial. All right, the next one, there's 2 terms. We should have a binomial. And the next one here has 3 terms, so we have a trinomial. Okay, go ahead and fill out the next 3, D, E, and F. Okay, so while you're filling them out, let's check and see if you got them right. All right, you 3 for 3? Very nice. Okay, let's go down here. It says place each polynomial in standard form. That means the highest exponent's first, lowest one last. Okay, so let's do this first. I'm going to box in my exponents here. Even if they're not there, I'm going to just fill in for now so we get used to it. So this is a 1, that's a 1, that's a 0. Okay. You know what, actually, I'm going to have you update yours real quick. You could change this to a squared. Thank you. All right. So my highest exponent is this cubed. So 5x cubed goes first, then my squared, so plus 4x squared. You may wonder, why is it plus? Because there's nothing in front here, so we know that's an invisible plus sign. All right, then I'm going to look at my x's here. So plus 7x. Then last but not least, my -1. This whole thing goes together. All right, now that I have in standard form, how many terms do we have? Good, 4. So that would be a polynomial. Okay, now h, this seems like a piece of cake now. My highest exponent here is 8x squared. Then my next one is plus 2x. My last one, minus 3. Since there's 3 terms, we call that a trinomial. Okay, so far, not too bad. Let's go ahead and flip our page over. Now we're going to be adding and subtracting polynomials. So first, let's start off by talking about like terms. There needs to be 2 things for them to have in common before you can actually combine them or subtract them. So they need to have the same variable. First one, or variables. I'll show you when that can happen. All right, and then they need to have the same exponent on the variable. Okay, so when you add or subtract polynomials, you're just combining like terms. Again, answer should be in standard form, always. All right, so example 2, we are adding or subtracting polynomials. Okay, so first 2, we are adding. So if you look here, okay, addition, addition. What I'm going to do first, though, is get rid of my parentheses. So I have 2x plus 5 minus 7x squared. And then this plus sign, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't change any of the signs of the rest of the terms. I'm just going to rewrite them. Okay, now let's group them up so they are the similar terms are together. So I have x to the 4th. I only have one of those. I have an x squared. Negative goes with the x squared. And I have x's and then numbers. Okay, so now I'm going to add these together, any that are the same. So let me show you the long, detailed way first. So first I have 3x to the 4th. Then I have my x squareds. So you need to write a minus sign. There we go. Minus 7x squared. Okay, then my x terms. I have 2x plus 6x. And then my numbers, I have 5 plus 5. So these guys here, they're the same. They are like terms. They have the same variable, the same exponent, but I can combine the numbers together. So I add 2 plus 6 gives me 8x. 5 plus 5 gives me 10. And everything else just stays the same because there's nothing to combine. All right, so this is called combining like terms. So let's do this next one a little bit faster. I'm going to get rid of my parentheses. So I have 6x squared plus 6 plus 3 c to the 4th plus 2c squared. Okay. So let's underline some that we have the same. So c to the 4th, c to the 4th, c squared, c's, and a plain number. Okay, so first let's start off with my c to the fourths. I have 3 plus 1, the visible 1 right there. So that gives me 4c to the fourth. Then my c squareds, I have 6 plus 2, which would be 8. Then my c's, then my numbers. Okay, then it's already in standard form, so we're good. Oh, I forgot to classify by the number of terms. Oops. So these have both have 4 terms. They're both called polynomials. Okay, C and D. Now we're subtracting. So this means there's a -1 in front, and I have to distribute that to all of the terms. So this first parenthesis stays the same, but now I have -1 times 8a cubed. -1 times a negative would be plus 5a. Negative times a positive 7 would be minus 7. Okay, so now I have everything distributed. Now I can combine like terms. So I'm guessing we're getting the hang of it a little bit. So I'm going to show you a little more of a shortcut way. So -5 minus 8. What's that? Good. -13a cubed. All right, then we look. Okay, my next thing I see are just a's. That's the next highest exponent. So I have 1 plus 5 would be 6a. And last but not least, I have -7 and 3. So 3 plus -7. Oh, good. Minus 4. All right, and there's 3 terms here, so they'll be trinomial. Nice. Okay, go ahead and distribute this negative on the next one first. Give you a second to do that, and then I'll check my answers with you. Okay, so I have a -2p to the fourth, -p, -p cubed. All right, so let's combine like terms. The highest exponent I see is p to the fourth. So 5 plus a -3 or 5 minus 2 or 5 plus a -2 would be 3p to the fourth. Then I have some p cubes. So I have -2 minus 6. That gives me -8. P to the third. And last one here, I have -2 minus 7 would be -9p. Again, that's a trinomial. Okay, then last little section here, it says find the perimeter of the following figures. So the perimeter means that I'm adding up all the sides on the outside. I'm finding the length around the shape. Okay, so this triangle here, I'm just adding up this plus this plus this. So let me scroll down here. I have 3x minus 7 plus 2x plus 3 plus 3x plus 2. Okay, so I have my x's, 3x, 2x, 3x. So 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 3 is 8x. All right, and then I have -7 plus 3. All right, that's -4. And then plus 2 would be -2. Okay, so that's my perimeter. I know that seems weird because there's x's in it, but right now we're just talking about the perimeter in terms of, this binomial or the x's and numbers. Okay, then the rectangle. So if you remember some facts about rectangles, from middle school or whatnot, this side here, 6x minus 2, is the same as the side across from it. 3x minus 3 is also this side. So I need to add up all 4 sides. So 3x minus 3 plus 6x minus 2 plus 6x minus 2 plus 3x minus 3. Okay, some of you might say, oh, I could just multiply this by 2 plus this by 2. That works too. Just make sure you distribute that 2 to both terms. Use that distributive property. All right, so 3x plus 6x plus 6 plus 3. What I got? 9 plus 9, so 18x. All right, and then I have -3 minus 2, so -5. minus 2, negative 7, minus 3, negative 10. Okay, so that's the perimeter of that shape then. Okay, so this is the first lesson. That's it for the adding and subtracting. Make sure you distribute that negative whenever you have a parentheses in front of or into every term in that parentheses.